So today's task is 355 design Twitter. I will quickly read this problem statement and I'll start solving it. I used to solve this task in the past, but still don't remember the problem statement, so I'll read for a couple minutes and then I'll start writing it. So I have now one idea how to solve this problem by using priority queues. So basically, I can use a priority queue to store the most recent tweets by user. Whenever user tweets, I wanna save the tweet in a priority queue that's gonna be separate for each user. And then for the followers, I'm gonna have like separate hash map with follower ID as a key and followees ID as a hash set. And then whenever user follows somebody else, I'm gonna update its own hash set of followees. And when he gonna unfollow somebody, I'm gonna find that followee ID in the follower ID hash set, and I'll remove that followee ID from there. And to get the news feed, so I have this priority queues separate for each user. I'll need to scan those priority queues that are for the all followees for the current user ID, and I need to form a new priority queue that's gonna have the output, but it's gonna have like 10 records maximum, and whenever I see a newer record, like newer tweet, I'm gonna and if I out of capacity for the priority queue, I'm gonna pop uh, the earliest one tweet, and I'm gonna push the new one into the queue if it's really a new one. So in order to solve this problem, I need to introduce some kind of time variable, and I need to probably to increment it every time anybody tweets. Um, I also can I assume that in the real-time situation, the time can be the same for different tweets. So, but in this case, we don't have this requirement. So I'll simplify it a little bit. But generally, if you want to get the newest news feed and there are more than 10 users that are posted in the same moment and it's the most recent timestamp, then it means that get newsfeed might have like more than 10 records if you want to get all these tweets, oh, and not random 10 out of this most recent postings. So that's it. So I'll try coding this approach by like I have priority queue for the each user with 10 most recent tweets by the user, and then I'll have a hash map with the hash sets to store the uh, follower ID to followees mapping. I have a tweet class, and I'll have inside a public int time, and then public int tweet ID, and then that's probably enough. And then I'll have public tweet constructor, and then tweet and constructor with parameters. Um, okay, and then I'll have the following. I'll have the uh, hash map of the integer, and then here I'm gonna have priority queue of the, let's say, tweet, and then user tweets, and then let's say I also created here, and then I'll have hash map of integer, hash set of integer, and then user follows. So the key is going to be user, the hash set is going to be the set of the other users that current user follows, and I'll also initialize it here. And then what I'll do, every time I'm gonna post the tweet, let's first implement the follow, and then follow. So the follow, I need to get the hash set of this integers. Get or default, and then here I wanna pass a user follower ID, and then new hash set, and then and then I wanna put follows, add followee ID, and then I wanna put user follows, put something like that. Okay, and for the unfollow, I wanna first get the follows hash set. User follows dot get, and then follower ID, and then if follows equals null, then I just gonna return. Otherwise, I need to follow remove, and then follow ID. And before the user posts, I'm gonna make sure that it follows himself. So I'll call follow user ID, and then for the post tweet, I need to get the tweets. So priority queue tweets, tweets equals user tweets get or default. So here I wanna have get the priority of queue for the user ID, and if that doesn't exist, so I wanna create a new priority queue. It's gonna be pass the lambda there, and I wanna it to be like whenever this priority queue is out of capacity, like there are like 11 elements instead of 10. I wanna evict the one, the earliest tweet from that priority queue based on the time. So in order to do that, I wanna have like min heap here based on the time. So I wanna have integer compare tweet one time, tweet two time. Yeah, that's it. And then for the tweets, I wanna offer new tweet, and then I'm gonna pass the time and increment it, and then I'm gonna pass the tweet ID. And then in case it's a new priority queue, I wanna be added to user tweets. Put user ID and then tweets. For the get, that's gonna be all for the post tweet function. So basically what I do here, I first follow myself, or like the user ID that posts, it follows itself. Then I'm gonna get the priority queue out of tweets if for the current user ID. If it doesn't exist for the current user ID, I will just create it here. And I'll use integer compared to for the time in order to get this ascending order for the time, and this is gonna be min heap. And every time I'm gonna be out of capacity, I need to evict the element. So here, if tweets size greater than 10, I'm gonna just tweets poll. This one will evict 11th element if we have tweets out of capacity. Tweets priority queue out of capacity. So that's it. And so the short summary here, we create the we first the follow for the post tweet. We follow user ID. If the user posts, it follows automatically himself. Then we check, we get the tweets priority queue for the current user. If it doesn't exist, to create one priority queue based on the time ascending order. So this is min heap by time. And I offering new tweet that this user posted. And then if the tweets priority queue is size is greater than 10, I just gonna evict the tweets. So I guess this one equals 11. So to make this confusion less, I assume, because it's not gonna ever go greater than 11. And then if you poll at 11 size, it's not gonna get greater than 10 anytime soon. And then I'm gonna be at the tweets to the user ID in case this is a new priority queue and it didn't exist before. For the get news feed, I'm gonna create a new priority queue and call it output. And then I'll do the following: new priority queue. So what I'll do here, private priority queue tweet, call it generate tweets PQ, and then I'm gonna return this priority queue that I put here. It's priority queue, and I'm gonna put this function here. Private, let's say static. And I'm gonna reuse this function over again in this place. And then gonna get the hash set of the follows. Get for the user ID. And let's say we have array list integer output 2. Let's say we call it q here and out q. queue, and this one gonna be output, new array list. And, if follows equals null, I'm just gonna return the output empty array. Otherwise, I'm gonna go for integer and follows. I can get the priority queue integer user tweets, just tweets equal user tweets get for the following. Get for the following ID, and then if tweets equals null, I'm just gonna continue. Otherwise, I need to output offer then tweet. Let's say for tweet tweet in tweets. When I go output queue offer tweet, and if queue.size equals 11, I'm gonna queue.poll. And in the result, I wanna save all the output I have in the queue into the all the tweets I have in the queue into the output array. So for but while queue size greater than 0, or like queue is empty, not while queue is not empty, I'm gonna do the following. I'm gonna output add queue.poll.t, and then I'm gonna return output. So let's check if I like short summary for this gets newsfeed. So first, I'm gonna create the output array. Second of all, I'm gonna create a queue here of the target tweets we're gonna return. Then I get the user follows all the priority like all the IDs for the current user that he follows. And then for the every follow ID in a hashset follows, I gonna get the priority queue like tweets for that follow ID, and then go through all the tweets, all the like 10 most recent tweets of that follow ID, and then I'm gonna offer the tweet into the queue. And if the queue size becomes like too big, I'm gonna evict the element, so the queue size never gets bigger than 10. And then I need to add all this to the output. And here I need to tweet ID. Yeah, that's it. Let's try to run hashmap. So here in line 12, some errors. New. So I want to have also this int time. Okay, so here I guess I messed up with the chronological order, so I want to add, let's say, at 0. Not here. So we want to get the most recent tweets first, I guess. A second. Editorial, I want a description. From the most recent to the least recent. So here, our tweets gonna be ordered in like, because it's min queue, so the earliest tweet's gonna go first, and when we're gonna poll, extract the min heap element like from the top of the heap. So it's gonna be the latest, the earliest tweet. So we need just insert append to the front of this output, and this output is just a array list. Yeah, to save that reverse chronological order. So let's run it. Okay, let's submit it. Okay, that's it. So this solution is based on the two priorities queues. One priority queue for the user tweets, hashset for the storing user follows, and hashmap with a hashset as a value. And the second priority queue comes in the result get newsfeed, where I need to maintain the size, and I can go over the capacity of 10 elements in the output. So usually, let me check the time. So it was 24 minutes right now. Yeah, quite long task in terms of like implementation. And alternatively, I think about linked list here and storing like all the tweets in a linked list as a nodes, and have like, and they should be sorted in a chronological order already. And I'm gonna have hash map of the user to the head of the list, where the current user list begins, and I'm gonna have like maximum 10 records in a list for every user. And this gonna be, and every time I need to go through to get the get newsfeed, I need to go through all the followees and find the place for the every followee where its linked list of tweets starts. And I can have like this multiple pointers and select every time, select the one that has the most recent tweet, something like that. But again, I need priority queue here to get the most recent one, yes. Or I can just go for every followee pointer and check what's the tweet time. If it's the most recent one, I need to get it out and like move the pointer for the current user. Let's check what they have here. So what's gonna be the time complexity of this one? Let's me check. Time complexity for this one. So for the follow, um, the space yeah, I guess the only interesting part is the get newsfeed. Gonna be its complexity. So for the every user, I'm gonna save maximum like 10 elements in priority queue. And let's say we have uh, users like users. This U is number of users. And then the size of this follows gonna be U by 10. And then the size of the priority queue of tweets for every user out of U by 10U gonna be 10. And so here, so this is 10 unity queue offer, and queue size not gonna exceed 10 also. So it's everything like constant here. Log 10 for the getting the tweets, and for every user it's gonna be like 10 maximum operations, and log 10, and then I need to multiply that by the number of the followees for the current user. But maximum it can be the number of all users, so it's gonna be u10 by log 10. So it's just the time complexity gonna be time of u, or of and where n is the number of users. This one is just a constant here. And the space complexity for the get news feed. So we have the output, the queue. Queue is maximum size is 10. Follows. It's just a pointer. We don't allocate any memory here. And this one also just a pointer. We don't allocate memory here. So the space complexity gonna be of 10 or just of 1. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna wrap up right now. So I guess it's pass because I managed to solve it within like 24 minutes. There was a minor error. I didn't save it in a chronological order in the like reverse chronological order in the output, but I was managed to figure it out quickly. Yeah, that's it.